Good evening, good day. Welcome to Viewpoint Ministries International. Today we have another exciting topic on today's podcast, and it's going to be how to demonstrate the love of Jesus in the age of identity crisis.
That is very interesting. How to demonstrate the love of Jesus in the age of identity crisis. When you hear this, what is it that comes to you? There's none other person to help us digest this today other than Mr. Deleke Sodende. Sir, thank you for being on our podcast today.
Thank you very much. A pleasure
All right,
to be here.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So when we talk about, by the way, I'm Solomon Ozoaviye, and I'm your host today, and my co-host.
My name is Tennille Gregory. Thank you.
All right, great. Thank you so much. Mr. Sodende, how do we demonstrate the love of Jesus in the age of identity, considering what we are going through, considering the time, considering persecution and things that are happening around the world? The Bible says, love your enemy, love your neighbor as yourself. When somebody is even doing something that this is discrimination, this is hatred, but you still, as a Christian, you're supposed to demonstrate the love of God. How do we do that? Over to you, sir.
Okay. So the only thing we need to begin to consider is that the love of Christ is a borderless love, which means there's no barrier to expressing the love of Christ. And the people who are probably having an issue with identity, right? That having an identity crisis. They are the ones who need the love of Christ the most. So it's not time to begin to discriminate or to begin to look down on them, because if Jesus were to reach out to them, he would need us to show his love to such people, so that peradventure they may have a change of mind and return to him. And then, but how do we identify someone who has an identity crisis? Someone who's changed the natural use of what God created him or her to be to something other than that. Let's just put it that way. So it could be, it could be that could come from different sources, and most of the time it's people who have not experienced the love of either parents, the love of society. They've not been accepted, and they feel, okay, if they change to what the society is conforming to, then maybe they will be accepted, which may not necessarily be true. So if we as Christians who understand the way that Christ wants us to live in this world are actually showing true love to those people by not discriminating, and then by actually letting them know that Christ died for them. That's one of the ways we can show the love of Christ to those people. And then another thing is, we shouldn't also necessarily accept what they feel is their view of life. Rather than having arguments with them, we should avoid arguments so that we don't escalate things into a conflict or crisis. So the best way is pray for anyone who has an identity crisis, or at most be that silent friend if they are friends with us, who just listens and never approves of their way of life. Those are ways we can show the love of Christ to people in this age of identity crisis.
Wow, thank you so much, sir, for doing that for us. I think you have said it real good. I do think that what you have said are very good for us to to follow on this platform, as well as others. Before we round up, my co-host is going to go ahead, and then we will call it a day.
All right. Well, my takeaway from what you had to say in today's podcast presentation is that there's no barriers to showing Christ's love. And then also when dealing with people that have identity crisis, prayer. The work is in prayer. That's how we bring God's kingdom down to earth. It's not earth going up there. It's Christ in the kingdom coming down to us. And so we do that through prayer. So that was excellent.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Adeleke Sodende, for doing that for us today on this platform. It is interesting because when you're talking about borderless love, the love of Christ, we have to make people understand that Christ died for them. He came for the sinners. He came for all of us. And so there's no exemption. We have to do everything possible to avoid argument, but we must point them to the cross. And most importantly, you spoke about praying for them. I mean, nothing more, nothing less. Thank you so much for coming on Viewpoint Ministries podcast today.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me as well.
All right, sir. This is where we're going to be calling it a day today. To you, all of our viewers, we want to say a big thank you for joining us and for listening to us every week as we bring this to you. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe as well. Check out our YouTube platform at Viewpoint Ministries or any other social media platform. You will get to see us. Feel free to go out to our website, which is viewpointministriesinternational.org, and you will see things that we have for you over there for free. And then you can get to email us info@viewpointministriesinternational.org, and we would be glad to respond to you, especially to send you some Christian materials that will help your growth. And you can also join us to support our mission. Right there, you can see on your screen right now. Go to viewpointministriesinternational.org/donate. You can support our mission. Okay, so together, let us earnestly contend for the faith. So today, we come to an end of this podcast. It may be brief, but I'm sure that indeed the Lord has used it to bless you. And so, until we get to come to your way again, I remain yours, Solomon Oluwabi. See you next time.